But, okay, I'll make it square, whatever. Alright, I want to think of, in my mind's eye about the edge of the pocket. So I want this pocket to come over a little bit like this, and then I want it to be lined from here down. Okay, so I might have a pattern, I might not. It depends upon what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. So, see, I'm looking at the pattern of the fabric here, and the pocket might look nice if it was a little bit of the cross weave up at the top and a little bit of the cross weave at the bottom. So I'm going to cut this just below the cross weave part right there.
Now, if this were also the fabric of the jacket, would you be matching that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that's why I say it depends upon what you're doing. I was going to make a little round pocket, but since this is a square piece of fabric, or is a plaid fabric, it would be better to have a square plaid pocket that's consistent with the garment. Okay. Goodness, having a moment there. Okay, now I'm going to put my lining right on the top of the pocket, like that. Okay, and this is the right side of the fabric. And we're going to sew
Right side to right face.
right side to right side, yep.
Right side to right side.
Okay, and I'm going to sew across.
Now, is this the side of the pocket right here?
This is the length of the pocket. This
Okay,
is the
so
bottom.
that's the
This
top
is the
of
top.
pocket. Okay.
Okay. Now, since I'm ad-libbing this, I haven't developed a pattern for this, so I'm going to show you the construction, and then you can control it when you get ready to do your work. Okay, I'm going right across one of the fibers at the top of the plaid, so it's nice and straight. Okay. All right, now I want to cut this piece of lining a little bit longer than the edge of the pocket. And why is that, Kathy?
Grading?
That's right. You get a gold star today. We don't want all of these to bunch up together for the bulk.
In one place.
Right. So now I'm going to take this over to the iron, and I'm going to iron it. And hope that the iron is on. And I'm going to press the seam allowance towards the pocket, like this. All right. Help me out here. So it's nice and flat. Okay.
Okay, let me see the other side. So you made
The long side
long
towards
side
the
toward the
lining.
lining, okay.
Yes. So that when you turn this in this way, it won't be bulky over here on this side. Okay, now I've got purple thread on here, which is going to show us what I'm doing. I'm going to edge stitch the lining.
Are you sewing on the lining or on the fabric?
The fabric is pressed towards the lining.
Right.
The lining is underneath and the fabric is here. So there's no edge on this side. And I'm going to sew on the lining side. Okay? And I'm about a 1/16 of an inch or so from the edge. And that's just going to catch it sufficiently. Okay. So there it is, nice and neat. Stitches are a little bit big for this particular product. Okay, now, I would have determined by now how deep this pull was, but we thought that right here was a good place to end that. So this is going to go over like this, and the top of the pocket is going to be just that big. Across the top of the plaid. Okay, so let's just mark this with a little snip here and a little snip here. Okay, now I'm going to fold this lining back on itself, back to where those snips were. See that snip?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I'm going to follow the fibers of the pocket right across.
You're on
Okay.
the wrong side.
Yep, I'm on the wrong side. And I'm going to straighten this out so it goes straight down this little piece of lining fabric.
Mm-hmm.
I'll put a couple pins in there to hold it. Okay, now what I'm going to do is, next is I'm going to trim this lining a little bit bigger than the pocket itself. Same process. Okay. Now I'm going to start. I'm going to sew it on this side. The feed dog on your machine will ease things in for you, and by pulling it faster than the resistance of the top foot. So what I'm going to do is sew down here first, then I'm going to reverse and go back up to here. And what's the reason for that? So it doesn't pull out, right? And then we're going to overstitch right on down to here, and then I'm going to make 2 stitches, 1, 2, sideways, and then I'm going to stitch to the center and back stitch a little bit. And then I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Start down here, stitch a few stitches, back stitch, and overstitch, down here, 2 stitches this way, then in here and back stitch a couple stitches. Okay, so I'm going to use my needle down thing here. Okay. You ready? Yeah. Okay. All right, and I'm only going to make a 1/4 of an inch seam allowance, which is plenty for this little weensy pocket. Okay. Okay. Now, if you had really bulky fabric, when you get down here to do the diagonal stitches, you may need to make 3 stitches, but you have to decide that with your sample. So I'm going to eyeball where a 1/4 of an inch is. Can you see it, Kathy?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
1 more stitch, and then I'm going to make a diagonal 2 stitches. 1, 2, okay, and then come across. And back stitch.
You're going to explain why you're not going all the way across the bottom, right?
Yes, I am.
Turn it over.
I have to turn it inside out.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Okay, now that is perfect.
Mm-hmm.
That looks good. Okay, so now on this side, I think I'm just going to continue on from the other side. I'm going to follow this grain of the fabric to right here. I think it's this one.
You start.
I'm going to start on the other side right there. Back stitch. Eyeball the 1/4 of an inch right here. Okay.
2 stitches sideways.
2 stitches, 1, 2, and then go back up this way.
And in this case, you're gonna have to go back, right?
That's correct. You never want to end right on the end of your pocket because why? It'll come out.
Just love it and won't look right.
Yeah, it will be nasty looking.
Nasty.
Nasty. Okay, now all the pins come out. Work threads come off. You want to keep your work area tidy so you have a good product. Okay, that looks nice. Okay, and we're right on the grain up and down here, and we're right on the grain up and down here. That looks good. Okay, I'm happy. Right now we're going to clip the corner here, and we're going to grade it a little bit, like Kathy suggested with this extra lump in here. We're going to take a little bit of this extra heaviness right out of there. Leave that one hanging out.
Just the one side?
Yep, just to one side so it reduces the bulk on the corner of the pocket.
Okay.
And we're going to clip across and then clip a little bit out like that. Just so all of that is accommodated.
Can see.
Yes, just a minute.
Okay. At the bottom, you can do the same thing.
Well, yeah, sorta. Okay? Now, at the bottom, when this pocket is folded in on itself, there's going to be a lot of bulk right here. That's why we did the 2 stitches across, because we're going to clip it close to here, like that, and then we're going to clip out this.
All the sharp edges.
Well,
Not all.
Just the one layer, though.
just the one layer. Can you see that? Okay,
Never seen before.
and then across this like this, and then this out, and that out, and this opening down here is the hole from which we turn the pocket. Okay. Push those corners out, and we have a little tool to do that with, if I can find it real quick.